How to know what weight you should be lifting with, whether we're doing dumbbell shoulder press or machine leg press. How do you know if the weight that you're using is the right weight for you? The first thing you need to understand to answer this question is you need to understand that lifting is a feeling. There is no right or wrong as long as you are feeling what needs to be felt in order to confirm that you are adequately stimulating the muscle. So what are you looking for? What feelings are you looking for? You're looking for whatever exercise you're doing, you're feeling it in the right muscle. So if you're doing a dumbbell shoulder press, I want you to be feeling it primarily in your shoulders, not your back, for example, or in your legs, right? If you're doing a leg press, I want you to be feeling it primarily in your quads, maybe not as much in your glutes or in your hamstrings, but you can bias leg press to target more posterior chain, but that's besides the point. Every exercise has a purpose, and you need to be feeling it in the right spot. So if you are doing an exercise and you're not feeling it in the right spot, you probably don't have the right weight or the right rep count for that matter to be doing that exercise. Another thing you don't want to be feeling, pain and discomfort specifically in the joints. Obviously lifting is not going to be the most comfortable thing in the world. I want to feel the burn. I want to feel the pain in my quads, that good pain, that good burn that I can work through. I don't want to be feeling weird joint pain, sharp pain, something that feels like a tear, like an explosiveness. That's not what we want to be feeling. And so if you're feeling that type of pain, that probably isn't the right weight. Maybe it's not even the right exercise, and maybe it's not even the right rep range for that exercise. And then the third thing you want to be feeling is you want to be feeling like you can push this weight the hardest you've ever pushed. Intensity is king. Training close to failure is king. So you want to also pick a weight that allows you to perform as close to failure as you possibly can, because it's when you get close to failure that you're maximizing recruiting as many muscle fibers as possible. That extreme tension, like have you ever done hip thrust to the point where it feels like the bone is gonna like rip off the ligament? That's the type of tension we're trying to create when we pick the weight and the rep range that we're working in. Now, with that being said, with the science that we have right now, they say that the best rep range for hypertrophy it's a big one. It's anywhere between like 5 reps to 30 reps. So as long as you're somewhere in that rep range, you're good. I don't care. The number of reps that you do don't matter as much as how hard are you actually training. And I'm going to show you what that means when I demonstrate with this exercise. You should also know that isolation exercises, so for example, something like a lateral raise, right? It's an isolation exercise because you're isolating the shoulder. Typically isolation exercises, because the muscle is so small, it requires a smaller weight. That's why everyone always makes jokes about how they can never go up in weight with their lateral raises. Isolation exercises are typically going to lend themselves better for a little bit higher rep range. So when I'm doing isolation, I'm doing closer to like 8 to 20. Anything below 8, it starts feeling weird. My shoulder starts feeling cranky. Same with leg extensions. Anything below like 8 reps, it starts feeling weird. And you feel a better stimulus, at least I do, when I'm doing a bit on the higher end or the mid-range of that 5 to 30 rep range is what I try to stick with for isolation exercises. Now, if you have a compound exercise like a dumbbell shoulder press, sometimes with dumbbell shoulder press, I can get away with doing like 3 to 4 reps, you know? The sun is hitting my face. So now you know the feeling that you're chasing. You know some quick rules of thumbs. Isolation exercises lend themselves best for higher reps. Compound exercises lend themselves best for a bit lower reps. Now let's talk about choosing the correct weight. How do you choose the correct weight? You plug and chug. Just like with anything else in the gym, we are chasing a feeling. You plug and chug. If an exercise doesn't feel right for you, you're not feeling it in the right muscle, and it causes you pain, plug and chug. Try a different exercise. Same here. So for dumbbell shoulder press, as you probably saw, immediately, this is 5 pounds, I can already tell 5 pounds is too light for me. Now what I want you to notice is that I'm doing this as a warm-up. The point of warm-up sets isn't to tire yourself out or train hard. It's just to feel the muscle, pump some blood to the joints. They say it decreases injury. And to feel what weight I should be doing. So this is my first warm-up set. It does not count as a working set. I'm not gonna be writing this into my training program, into my training notes. I know that 5 is too light. So let me try to go up in weight. I know, bro, I know. 10 pounds is gonna be too light too. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump to 15 pounds for my second warm-up set. And again, it's about feeling. As you continue to train for a longer amount of time, you get really good at feeling a weight. And in your warm-up set, bro, you know what your working weight is gonna be that day. I'm gonna be so for real, these 15s feel heavier than I thought they would feel. I thought I was going to be shoulder pressing 20s today, maybe even 25s, but it's looking like I'm wrong. So let's do a set with the 15s and see where I'm at. Notice how I'm going full range of motion. This is feeling like a working set for me. There we go. Now, just because it feels hard doesn't mean I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna keep going until I literally physically, and I'll do another one. So, let's see if this set checks all the boxes for me. Was I within, I need a second. That was really hard, my heart's beating really fast. Now let's see if this set with this weight checked off all the boxes for me. Number one, was I within the 5 to 30 rep range? I was, I got 16. Number two, did I feel strong and stable? Yes, I did. I felt very strong and stable. And I felt a great connection with my shoulders. So that checks off too. That probably was an adequate weight and an adequate rep range for me. And did I train with the most intensity possible? Gun to my head, I did not stop until I literally could not do another rep. Actually, I probably had like 2 reps in the tank, like 1 to 2 reps in the tank, if there was actually a gun to my head. Yes, I did. So that's how you know that was an adequate rep range and an adequate weight for what I'm trying to do, my goals of maximizing muscle growth. Now you can be asking yourself, but damn bitch, do I have to do 16 reps? No. If you don't want to be in that, if you don't want to have to do 16 reps in order to approach muscular failure, by all means. The sun is coming in and I don't want it to make me look weird, but I have a lot of clients who they'll be doing a weight and they're like, this feels like I can do more than 10. I'm not doing that. I'm going up in weight in order to achieve the same result, which is proximity to failure. Reps do not matter as long as you are training as hard as possible. That's how you pick the weight that you should be working with as your working weight. In fact, I'll show you what I look like with the 20s. So this is gonna be my second working set. I got 9. So, just because I did less reps, fuck dude, let me move. So, I just did 9 reps with 20 pounds, 16 reps with 15 pounds. Was one better than the other? No. Why? Because my form was good, I was feeling it in the target muscle, and I was able to push 1 to 2 reps shy of muscular failure. That is king. That's it. As long as you're within that 5 to 30 rep range, as long as you don't feel pain in the joints, as long as you are feeling it in the right muscle, and as long as your intensity is there, I'm gonna say it again, gun to your head, can you do another rep? Do another fucking rep. That's how you know what the correct weight is that you should be doing. Now, The first week of a new program, you're gonna notice you're probably gonna have to do more warm-up sets to find your working weight. Once you find your working weight, you kind of start remembering what you did last time, but even so, you don't have to remember it because it should be in your training notes. And you know what weight feels right for you. And this goes for every exercise in the book. Lateral raises, leg press, Smith machine squats, Bulgarian split squats. It's all the same. It's all about chasing that intensity, chasing that burn, that intense feeling in the muscle. That's what bodybuilding is all about. So don't get too stuck in the weeds of how many reps should I be doing? What weight should I be doing? You know what you should be doing. Listen to your intuition. And like I said, I'm gonna say it again, the more time and experience you have strength training, the better you'll get at knowing what weight you need to be using, the less warm-up sets you're gonna need to find that working weight. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention this, as a beginner, because you're still learning what true intensity feels like, it's quite normal, dude, for you to go up in reps and go up in weight like pretty much every week. But when you're more late beginner going into intermediate, for example, yesterday I showed up and I had to lower my working weight for all of my exercises, even though the week before I could handle more weight. And that's where it becomes more important to really prioritize those warm-up sets before touching that working weight. It helps you find what weight you should be at on that day. Because here's the T. We cannot control how strong we show up on any given day. The strength output that we're able to produce is dependent on so many factors: stress, sleep, hydration, how you're fueling yourself, are you about to get your period, so many different things. And so I used to get really frustrated whenever I was weaker one week than the last. And it would like cause me to like sabotage my workout and like be like, what the fuck is the point? Like, I'm leaving. But what I didn't realize is that our muscles aren't thinking, wow, last week she did 30 and this week she only did 20 pounds. Don't grow muscle. The only thing our bodies are recording is the tension that you feel on the muscle. So if one day you need a smaller weight to create the same stimulus as a bigger weight did, it doesn't matter as long as, I'm gonna say it again, the mind-muscle connection is there and you are training, gun to your head, can you do another rep? If the answer is no, I cannot, I'm literally gonna die right now, that's how you know if you're training hard enough or not, okay? So don't get caught up in the numbers. Just like with your scale weight, don't get caught up with your numbers in the gym. The only thing that matters at the end of the day is our controllables, what we can control. The only thing that I can control is my form and my output and my effort, my intensity, how hard I'm training with what my body is giving me on that day. That's the only thing that matters. Don't forget it. Like my clients will always be like, what weight should I be doing? And I'll be like, girl, we've never done this exercise before. We've never done this machine before. Your guess is as good as mine. I'm gonna do with you what I do with me. We're gonna do warm-up sets and start finding what that working weight is, okay? I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please let me know. Comment down below, share it with someone, like and subscribe so that I know that these videos are helpful to you and you wanna keep seeing more, okay? Okay, bye.